Didn't think I'd ever get this far. Didn't think I'd ever find the one. I never thought I'd heal from a broken heart. No, never did I ever think I'd heal these scars. Did you think that on the night we met, that you become Mr. Never Forget? Now I'm chilling, sitting, riding shotgun with those three little words slipping right up your tongue. Oh, don't matter where we're going, all I know is wanna ride it with you. Take off in the evening, rolling, live in the moment, just live in the moment. Don't matter what we're doing, all I know is wanna do it with you. Take it to the fast lane, step on the gas, babe, with you. Take the back streets, hit the red lights. Ain't no rush, baby, just you and I, feeling so right in the moonlight. Oh, fingers intertwined, stars in our eyes. Oh, don't matter where we're going, all I know is wanna ride it with you. Take off in the evening, rolling, live in the moment, just live in the moment. Don't matter what we're doing, all I know is wanna do it with you. Take it to the fast lane, step on the gas, babe, with you.
Hey.
Hello and welcome y'all to Through the Lens. It's Haleigh Overseth and I'm here with Bryan-jon and I'm so excited about it because we've got great news today.
About what?
About
Who's great news?
You've got great news.
No,
are we not telling nobody
we're
we're
news,
not?
but it's not great news.
You're not that super stoked excited about it? I'm super stoked excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Oh, let me turn down the volume of my phone. Good Lord.
Your phone's excited for you. Your phone's excited about it, wants you to talk about it.
Yeah, it was good. It was, I was talking about it before we came on air here, that I thought it was really ironic that for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've done a lot of auditions, like a lot. Like I've done like 15 auditions. So I've worked my ass off for the last 3 weeks.
That's a lot
and I didn't get anything. So, I was kind of not discouraged, but I was questioning myself, of course. And then yesterday I get an email. What's that?
Happens to all of us.
Yeah. So my agent emailed me and she goes, listen, I just heard from a production company. They want to book you for a role in a TV show that's going into its 4th season. And it's kind of cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the script is going to look like. And we'll see. I told you guys what show it is, but I really can't talk about the show, to be honest. I can't talk about my part.
Totally cool. But I just think that's super exciting.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's a popular show. I've never seen it, but I'd never heard of it. But I think it's shown more in the States than it is here.
I was gonna say I have seen and heard of it. So
yeah. So it's kind of cool. I'm assuming it's going to be on the history. I'm assuming it's going to be on the History Channel.
That's what I thought right away when you said it. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it's at.
Yeah,
one of those kind of channels like that. I dig it.
And then today, I'm up for 2 1 or 2 possible new roles. So we'll see. Brian is getting to work, but
Hey, I love it.
It was kind of disappointing over the last 3 weeks. And like I said, I worked my ass off for these auditions and studying the strips and stuff like that. And there were some like, even my agent said, like, I'm surprised because of some of the work that you were putting in was amazing. And
Well, maybe there's something
it's one of
else
those
that's meant
things.
to come up that, just like how this one came out of the blue, maybe somebody will see a tape you did for something else that wasn't even for that. And they'll be like, hey, I want you for this other thing.
Yeah, it's interesting because one that I did a couple of weeks ago, it's for an episode for a TV show. I believe the show is called, I think it's going into its 2nd season, or maybe this is its 1st season. How Not to Hire a Hitman, the show is called.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, so I sent in a self-tape for a detective.
Very cool.
And it was super. And like, I was even watching it today, and it was super, super good. Even my agent said, wow, it was really, really good. I'm surprised you didn't get the part. But so they reached out to her again today, asking me to audition for another episode. So I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that with you on Thursday.
I'm excited.
So you're gonna be Haley's gonna be my reader. So she's requested to do this. She wanted
because it's gonna be silly fun, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So she's gonna be the detective, and I'm gonna be the suspect.
Oh, I get to interrogate you? Bryan-jon.
Well, yeah, you do actually.
You did not give me this information before. How much more exciting is this now? What's up now?
Yeah. Well, you got to remember you're a detective, so you can't be over the top of excitement. Because I guess the way the scene goes, it makes me look like I'm the suspect. But it's a generic script, so it's not actually what I'm going to be doing in the actual TV show.
Sure.
So if I get the part, but the one from yesterday, it was a total surprise because I did a self-tape on Monday for a commercial, and I haven't heard back about that. But after that one, I was going, Jesus, what is going on? Like, is it that time of the month for me?
No, like, just having a rough. The moon is making me crazy. I don't know what's going on. Mercury is in a retrograde again or something. Who knows what?
Thank you, V. I appreciate that. And it's just like I said, it was a little bit discouraging. But again, it's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
And and even if you put on an incredible performance on your self-tape, you might not have the right look.
Right.
It's just the way it is. And I look at it this way. If I usually read everything that's sent to me and the description they're looking for in this particular character, and it might not be me, but what I try to do is I try to put on a good self-tape so they change their minds on who they want to pick. And that's the way you got to look at it. So
yeah, if you can embody a character well, I think that's really what matters.
And this is it. But one thing I've learned from doing this, and my agent says the same thing, and she says it to other people that get really disappointed about not getting parts that they really wanted. Once you do the self-tape and I send it to my agent, it's done. You close the door and you forget about it.
You don't think about it.
You forget about it. You don't think about it. You move on to the next one. And that's what I've learned to do. It's a very, very tough business. And
I'm sure that does help though. I mean, you don't want to stew over it, right? Because it'll interrupt your ability to keep moving forward and putting forth new ones. So you got to just keep it rolling.
I'm going to tell you a little funny story that happened.
Tell me a funny story.
Before we bring up Tanner.
Before tea time with Tanner.
A little funny story that so about a year and a half ago, there was this movie that I was up for or auditioning for, sent in self-tape and stuff like that. I even had a callback, which means that I did a second audition, but I did it over Zoom. So I actually got to meet the director, in the second one. And the audition was great. It went well. He loved it, everything about it. And I didn't get the part, which kind of sucked because I really wanted it. And he seemed like a really good director that I wanted to work with. Well, about 3 weeks later, a month later, or 2 months later, I think, when they started filming, the guy that actually got the role that I was after, he was fired the first day on set.
Well, how do you oopsie that one?
So, but what's funny about it is my agent's daughter got a part in that movie.
Oh.
So she was there when this guy got fired. Oh. And so she goes, well, do you remember Bryan-jon that went out? And he goes, yeah, oh yeah, I remember. He was great. He was terrific. She goes, well, why didn't you select him? He was too good looking.
No, Bryan-jon, stop being such eye candy prettiness over there. You get more work.
That's the reason. He said he was too good looking. And,
well, Bryan-jon, I guess you just are going to have to, dial it back a bit.
It's funny. I never think about me that way at all. But my agent goes, really? That's why you didn't select them? Because the guy they originally selected looked like he was from a trailer park. And this was supposed to be, it was a private investigator. That's what the role, which is funny because I was a private investigator for 6 years.
I know.
But anyways, and but they wanted somebody that was grungy looking.
Yeah.
And looked like he came from a trailer park. That's basically. So they brought somebody in. They brought somebody together. This is it as well. And so they brought somebody else in that they were considering that looked similar to the other guy. But she called me and told me, and I was going, really? I'd never, ever heard that.
I mean, but hey, you know what? There's worse reasons not to get a job, right?
I guess. I have to be honest, though. I really wanted that part. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's the nature. Listen, it's the nature of the business, and
the right thing will come along. It'll be,
If you can't handle rejection, you're definitely in the wrong business. If you're an actor.
Wow, this is fair.
So it's just the way it is. But yeah, that's my small little story. And
I love it. I did.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I actually had a good chuckle when I heard that, and it's interesting because my headshots, my agent always shows my headshots to everyone because she loves my headshots, and everybody's always so impressed with my headshots, and they say, and they all say the same thing. Wow, he's a really good looking guy, and so that's nice, but unfortunately that sometimes hinders me on getting the part.
Listen, just take some, get some makeup done, take some other headshots and be like, look, if you do a little bit of work, you can get whatever look you want out of me. We'll figure this out. We can make this work. I can roll with whatever.
Yeah. Well, so what's going on with you?
What's going on with me? I'm hanging out here with you, and we're getting ready to talk to Tanner.
No, life. When you're not with me on here,
when I'm not with you on here, I'm doing other podcasts and looking for ways that I can ditch the 9-to-5 job that's killing the light in my soul. Because I need to do some writing and some more art, and I would love to do some more because there's just so much fun podcast stuff to do that I want to be doing more of. And, so just kind of trying to figure out my way. How do I do more of the fun things on the full-time sauce and not so much of the not fun stuff?
I get it.
Kind of what we're all doing. You know how
it is. You see the ticker below. Go over and check out Health Empowers You.
Y'all, if you want to support more content from me and Bryan-jon, support healthempowersyou.net. Get their smoothie PDF because it's got some awesome recipes, and he just added the ones for the diabetics. Thank you. We appreciate that you are being considerate and adding more recipes. Well done, you. And Health Empowers You page on Facebook with the memberships because you got the cool new fitness videos. Check them out.
Yeah, and I think 2 weeks is up for Tanner, so we'll talk to Tanner when he gets up here. Remember, Tanner, I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, and I said I'd give you 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Bring him up. 2 weeks.
Tanner's too busy doing something. He's not even paying attention. So
we'll just bring him. We'll bring him on up, and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah. So
he's just pulling up his good story stuff that he's got going on.
October 17th started the Global Ghost Hunt.
Global Ghost Hunt, y'all. Get ready.
And just keep in mind on the Saturday, that's when we're having the event within the event. We will be having three investigations happening at once, and Haleigh here will be hosting with Glenda Dawson, and also somewhere in that show Carol's gonna pop up that we had on last week, and she's gonna do some tarot. Glenda is going to actually do some walkthroughs with the investigators, just to find out what's going on. I am doing the church. We are Ghoul Gang will be doing the Jack the Ripper's Museum.
I'm excited
and I
about that one.
believe Matt is doing a graveyard, I believe. So it's going to be a fun night. You're going to be seeing 3 different investigations happening at once, and let's see the kind of energy that we can generate for that, and hopefully everybody's going to have a wonderful night.
It's going to be great. I'm super excited about it.
But
we're going to have
I wanted to announce this this Friday. Get ready for Global Ghost Hunt Live. We are going to be doing a test with Ghoul Gang and myself. We are going to be doing an investigation for that live this Friday. So it might go on for an hour, it might go on for 2. So I will be doing I'm really thought about where I was going to be on this for this test. And I think I'm going to, I don't do graveyards. Like, I'm not big on the whole graveyard thing, but this graveyard there's actually a video on Paraflix of me doing this graveyard, and we captured some good EVPs in this graveyard. So I think I'm going to be going to this graveyard, and it is creepy as hell.
I love it.
It's on a ghost type of road. It's out in like there's nothing around. I think there's a house cross street, but that's about it. But it's creepy as hell. And we got some good action. We got some good action on the stairs where the steeple is, or whatever the it's not a church. I guess it kind of is a church, but anyways, I got some good action from the steps.
Oh, that's
so
very cool.
We're hoping. I'll probably be live on my YouTube on Friday as well. We'll connect to a bunch of different pages.
Yeah.
So we're doing a test. We're doing a test for the world's event, for the event within the event coming Global Ghost Hunt. That's why we're doing. We figured it would be perfect for
Global Ghost Hunt Live, dude. Yeah.
GGH Live. So we'll be doing that this Friday. So if you want to check that out, you can, and that will start at,
I think we said that we were going to do 4 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. your time, because then that's 10.
No, I think it was
5 p.m.
5 and 6.
5 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. your time. That's right.
And then that will be 12 o'clock for Ghoul Gang.
Yes.
So we're testing it out for the event. So anyways, other than that, that's all I need to announce. Let's bring Tanner up. Tanner seems really preoccupied right now. So let's.
Well, he's got to run away in a little bit. He's got to duck out.
Oh, he's got to leave at 8:30. We spoke for way too long.
No, you guys are good.
We spoke for 17 minutes. Good Lord. I
have a lot going on.
We got a lot going on. There's a lot of things.
So the test this Friday, I think, is going to be cool. So in this graveyard that I'm going to, I don't get creeped out a lot, but this graveyard is frigging creepy, and especially because there's nothing around, and it's like, let me say this. When I went with somebody else, and where we were parked, the graveyard was right there. I get out of the car, and the first thing I hear is an EVP right away. And I heard something. I listened to it on my through my SD card on my laptop, and it was a voice saying, "Go away" or something like that. And I can't recall what it said, but it said something, and I caught it. And then coming back in that same area, I got a woo.
You got a whistle.
And it was like, what? No, it wasn't a whistle. It was just like a ooh.
What's up, Raymond? No, it was like you're getting catcalled.
I turned around to see what it was. And in the distance, in the graveyard, there was this big ball of white light.
Oh, that's cool.
That was just sitting there. And then all of a sudden it just went away like this.
No, weird.
And I went, what the frig is that? And if you haven't seen it, it's up on Paraflix. I think some of it is up on YouTube as well on Huntophobia.
Yeah.
But I figured, that's going to be a perfect place. But the problem is I might be by myself.
Don't be afraid. I will be there on the live. I will speak with you. It'll be okay. Don't be afraid.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring anybody with me. I'd love to, and I think, whoever I'm going to bring is going to be freaked out as much as I am, because there's actually, so I can't recall who it was, but there was an actual apparition that was caught at this graveyard. And it was caught, and where it was caught was, it was standing right beside the headstone. And then it disappeared. And again, I'm not big with graveyards for several reasons.
Hey, if you get good stuff, you get good stuff. Go with it. Roll with it.
So Tanner,
speaking of good stuff,
how's Tanner?
How you doing?
I'm good. I got a lot of projects going on right now.
Yeah. So Tanner's got a number. So explain this number on the bottom first before you get started.
So you were talking about wanting to go into podcasting full time and doing that. So the business that I'm running now is Truly Odd Studios, and that's the goal here. This is a for-profit print and audio media company doing podcast, audiobooks, and voice acting, a little bit of different stuff.
You and I got to chat.
Yeah, but this
this
number here,
and stuff, yo.
But yeah, this number here, the 833-243-4383, that is my toll-free number for my new podcast, Haunted Encounter Hotline. So basically, you can call in, you can leave a voicemail, and tell me about a time where you experienced a haunting. Tell me about something that you've seen that's unexplainable. And I'm collecting those stories and putting those together into a podcast, not just for entertainment, but because there's so many people out there looking for a safe place to share their encounters and share them with other people. You never know who's going through what. And it's just an opportunity to build a great community here where we can call in, we can share stories with everyone in a place that's judgment free.
Well, I can tell you this much right now. Person that's in the room right now, she has lots of stories. V Team Paranormal. She has lots of stories, and you know what? You should really call up Tanner and tell one of your stories, because you have a lot. She has a lot of stories.
I love it. I'm about it. I think that's super fun.
And I called it today.
Call up and tell you some silly story of weird stuff that happened at my grandma's haunted house.
I called the number today to see what it looked like or sound like. Not look like, sound like. And I was going to leave something funny, but like I told you guys earlier, I decided not to. But maybe I will tomorrow.
Hey, maybe we will.
Yeah, just call in, follow the instructions, and leave the voicemail, and I'll be playing those on the podcast. So,
I love it. I think
the actual voice, or just the story?
The actual call. Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'll edit it. So like if you mess up and you're saying or you've got to start over or something, I will edit that stuff, and I'm not gonna make you sound stupid. But
so what was wrong with your dinner?
I'm
currently haunted by tonight's dinner.
I mean, it happens to all of us, y'all. That gastric distress can sometimes come along.
Is your dinner that bad?
Stop eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, it's funny. I've never had Taco Bell. I've never had it. Never had Taco Bell.
It's not food.
I mean, it's not food. It's not. It's processed stuff.
I've heard a lot of. I heard it's great after a hangover or during your drinking binge.
Well, that's
it's great during the drinking. What's not great during the drinking bits? It's the next day afterward.
I also heard it's good if you're smoking the.
I was gonna say, but that's the same thing. It's like when you're under the influence of whatever it is, everything's a good idea.
No, you have to call that number that he has below his name there. Call that number.
And V Team Paranormal. No, I'm not on YouTube. I'm a podcaster, so it goes out to an RSS feed. So I'm on Apple, Spotify, and about 1,000 other apps that people listen to podcasts on. It is an audio format, not a video format.
No, my GI system isn't the best.
Oh, well.
What's his GI system?
Gastrointestinal system. Your innards, your guts. He's good.
That flew right over my head.
Yep.
That's okay. My sister has Crohn's. I know things that I wouldn't otherwise know.
Oh, there you go. Let's not
but
go.
Tanner,
let's really not go down that road.
Let's get with Tanner, and Tanner's got a story to tell us before he has to run away.
So, have you guys seen Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes.
Yeah, one of my favorite horror movies. Absolutely messed up. Those nightmare scenes are some of the best that I've seen in horror.
I'm more
Wes Craven is just, huh?
I'm more Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th is good, but Wes Craven, I mean, he knows his nightmares. And what would you say if I said that not Friday the 13th? You got me stuck on that.
No.
That Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep. I was based or inspired by a true story.
I would be so super excited about it. Please tell me someone figured out
so,
how to go into dreamland and bring a hat out of it.
1970s, there were some articles that ran in the LA Press. I think it was the LA Post. And basically, several refugees from South Asia were having vivid nightmares and night terrors. They had come over here to get away from just these horrible acts of genocide and war crimes that were going on in that part of the country. So they're having night terrors. They were waking up. Men would not sleep for days at a time. And when they did go to sleep, they were dying in their nightmares. So the press got a hold of these people that were being scared to death and tormented in their nightmares to the point of death. Wes Craven heard about this and was like, no one is putting this together as being connected. What if there was some sort of dream demon or something? And that was the genesis of Freddy Krueger.
Okay, that's super wild. Because first of all, I love that comes from kind of a true story. Not that I'm happy that people are being tormented by dream demons, because that's awful. Obviously, we don't want that. But that's super incredible. I mean, you imagine they've all collectively gone through some really traumatic, awful stuff. And then it's almost like that trauma they experience manifests itself into this tormentful like creature thing that like gets them in their dreams. Like it is, I mean, it's not all that different even just to the idea of like your stress causes cancer and disease within your body, you know? It's like horrible, really traumatic energies in a collective space. Maybe they could create like a tulpa or a what is Slender Man? Is Slender Man a tulpa, a thought form demon thing?
Yeah. The whole thing with creepypasta, that was like a tulpa factory. That was the whole reason that website was developed, was to see if that could manifest. And yeah, exactly. So one of the things that we look at in hauntings, this is something that I've covered on Ghost Hunter Advice, is we really don't know if we're going into these haunted locations and actually interacting with something that's already there, or if maybe conditions are right for us to project things. So there is actual activity happening. Things are moving around. We're getting EVPs, but they're actually being caused by our focus on that area for that activity.
I was going through a lot of nightmares as well, but that was just during my marriage. But
that'll do it.
That'll do it. Yeah, been there, done that. Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. I understand.
Yeah.
No, but that is a really
have you been married, Haleigh?
Yeah.
Have you been really? I didn't
forever
know that.
ago. Yeah, it's been,
Wow.
Listen, don't make
There's
decisions in
new
your 20s, people, okay? Just don't do it.
Yeah. I went through a lot during my marriage too. A lot of nightmares.
It's all right. That happened.
I'm surprised I didn't die through my nightmares.
Hey, well, you could have, because look at this. It happened. Freddy Krueger, real thought. But I do like, it's such a fascinating thing, that idea of like human consciousness having that effect on things. And I've talked about that too with like haunted spaces. And I can't remember what it is. I think there's a place somewhere in maybe Connecticut. Like there's a house that's kind of haunted by like this figure with a top hat, kind of like a black hat figure, right?
Yeah.
But it was a house where a guy was writing a character that like was essentially this character. So it was like, well, is it because he spent so much time in that house writing that character that it sort of manifested because of all the energy he was putting into all these book series he was writing about this character? Like, it is interesting to think about like how much of what you're gathering in any kind of, scenario where you're paranormal investigating is activity coming from your own consciousness, projecting that out and then kind of boomeranging back at you, right? Like, and how do you discern what is that of you and what's other energies or entities that are talking to you?
Haleigh, you're an author too, right? You've got a book series.
Oh yes,
Is that awesome?
I started it as a fictional podcast. I actually kind of want to get back into doing that. I have more episodes that I've not written yet. They're all kind of outlined, but yes, we got to talk, you and me.
Yeah.
Like, let's
not your process, and that's what with like, I don't want to call it tulpas, but like thought form manifestations inside of homes. People don't really get when you're a writer, and there's different processes. But I spend a lot of time with these characters. Like my book, The Haint, my that monster eventually came out of a nightmare that I was trying to make. And you sit and you talk to them and you just kind of hallucinate and write down what you're seeing them do and things. And I don't think people understand how much energy goes into that and how much thought goes into creating those things.
Well, and how much of it might you be channeling some other kind of energy or entity from a parallel existence that is akin to whatever you're, putting together, creating, and it's kind of a co-creative process. And then some of that energy does start to like manifest in your reality. Like, hey, I've been coming over and saying hi, and you're making stories about me, and like, let me show up just a little bit. Peekaboo. Like, what? Okay. This could be a whole podcast conversation.
It could,
we could have. Like,
100%.
Let's set that up, Tanner. We got to chat.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, we got.
So how are these people dying? Like, I know you said they're dying, like, but what was the cause of their death?
Yeah, like aneurysm.
Their hearts stopped in their sleep. They were. It was during night terror. Sometimes it was after they woke up, but their body went through so much stress in the nightmare that it gave out. So it's severe night terrors brought on by PTSD,
like cardiac arrest, or like wow. That is intense. I mean, that is wild. Like,
well. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I've heard something along this lines of people dying in their sleeps from nightmares, and I think the popular one is falling off a building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wake up just before you hit the ground, but I've heard of people not waking up and hitting the ground and dying. Because of
my friend Sage had a dream where she kept having these dreams where she was falling off a cliff, and she's like, and one time I fell, and I know it was like a parallel life where I actually died because I woke up really sore and in a lot of pain, like I really hit the ground. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
No,
I think is it possible that the reason she felt that way is because she tensed up so much in her sleep that caused maybe the injury, like the soreness? Because she was so tense during her sleep during that fall.
I know it's hard to know though, because your dreams only happen within the last few seconds between waking and sleep, like in theory, right? Like it's just that short window of time. That's the thing that's interesting about dreams, right? Is that they're also kind of quantum time bending things, because it's only a few seconds before sleeping and waking that happens, but sometimes it feels like forever a long time. So it's like, she wouldn't have really had that much time to be tensing her body for that long.
Well, you could if it's like a sudden like jerking around, Me personally, I don't really remember my dreams.
Oh, I do. You gotta start dream journaling, Brian. You got a dream journal.
Now that's where a lot of my monsters come from. Is it like nightmares?
I don't.
Yeah.
Like
I have a whole book. I have a whole short story series I want to write for a book of like nightmares that I remember having from like 4 years old throughout my life, and like I want to turn them into like short stories. I've got those outlined too.
I gave up on Haint. I gave up on that book and shelved it, and then I just had this really vivid nightmare. But the problem was the monster; it wasn't suspenseful enough, and just the way that thing showed itself in the dream. I woke up and I was like, "God, that's my freaking monster!" And I came in here and wrote it, messed with it. That book is out for developmental edit right now, and it'll be out April.
That's exciting. I love that. It's like the monster you were channeling was like, "Hey, bro, you got me wrong. I'm showing up to tell you what it really is." Boo.
So how do you write that into a full book?
The book itself I had already written. It sucked because the monster was so bad. And I went back through and put that in. So what I'll do is I'll come up with a premise. Like I wanted to write a haunted house book, and I sat down. I was like, I want a haunted house. I want a creepy little town, and I'm going to blend in some detective fiction. And so I just started thinking, I'm like, okay, so who's this character? who's a character that's going to end up in this situation? How can I get this character to this situation where it makes sense for him? He's got to have his kid with him, so I've got to do something because he's not the type of dude just to bring his kid into danger. And then I just play with that. Sometimes I write some short stories with that particular character to get in their head a little bit and see what's going on.
You
And
and
then
me need to do like a writing workshop together. This
Yes.
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
This sounds like I have so many ideas that I'm like, I could just, yes, set up your template and let's roll with this.
Yep.
I am,
And then I
yes.
plot though. So like I go through and I'll set up my tent poles, like the big things that need to happen in the story, so I know where I've
Yeah.
got to get to. And then now I do like bigger outlines for mysteries. I set up the tent poles and free write in between for horror because it's more character driven and it feels better doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'll make a book out of what story. Like there's one that I'm working on. I'm not going to talk about it yet. Actually, no, I've talked about it on my podcast, but I cut it out. It's a kids on bikes books. It's that horror trope. I had the idea for the monster. I was reading a news article one day about some genetic stuff that was going on with pets, and I was like, well, okay, so that makes sense for that monster to come out that way. But how does it get to the neighborhood? And then it turns into like this paranormal thriller,
I love it.
evil corporation type thing.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So this comment right here.
What's up? My 3-year-old step grandson used to have night terrors every night. Said he was being burned up in a fire. He's deathly afraid of fires. Well, he's probably experiencing a parallel life where he did die that way.
A 3-year-old experiencing that. Generally, fire, because I looked it up here. Generally, fire means a sense of turbulence in your life. So for a 3-year-old, I don't think a 3-year-old would be.
No, I'm like, I think the kids are just more connected in a way they can tune into. Like,
it also means it also means when you're dreaming of fire, it can mean it's a symbolic gesture of passion and desire. So I don't think a 3-year-old is going to be, but
if you look at studies though, like 3-year-olds and like preschoolers in America are having record levels of anxiety and depression. We're actually seeing suicide rates increasing in like kindergartners and first graders.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Here's a person I haven't seen for a long time coming into the show. I messaged this guy like a month and a half ago, and he never returned my message, so I can give him shit now.
There you go.
Jay, you never returned my message.
Tanner's got to run away, but Tanner's got to run.
Okay,
Tanner,
buddy.
We appreciate you. We got to chat you later. Peace.
See you next week. So give away your links or your stuff before we go.
Check me out over at ghosthunteradvice.com. I'm going to have some stuff up about the hotline here and where that's going to be coming out. We're getting everything ready for season 1 of the hotline. So call that number, the 833-243-4383. Share your story with me online to have it there on the podcast. Also, the book stuff that we were just talking about. I am a horror writer. If you are into horror fiction, reading that or listening to that, because I do have an audio fiction podcast coming out later this year for horror. You can check that out. The Killer Prose podcast, available pretty much everywhere podcasts are. I talk to some of the best horror writers in indie fiction and traditionally published fiction. We talk about our processes going back and forth and creating the stories that are meant to keep you guys up and give you those nightmares.
I love it. So exciting. Thank you, Tanner. We so appreciate
I will definitely read it because I don't have nightmares because I don't remember my dreams.
Well, there you go. See, you'll be good. You're safe.
See you next week, buddy.
See you guys.
See you, Tanner. I love it.
That's great. So as you people know, there's nothing in here. We do not have a guest tonight. We did have a guest. But
hey, guess what? Our guest right now is me and Bryan-jon and our awesomeness. Our collective awesomeness is the guest this evening. Yes. What would you name our now? Listen, Bryan-jon, we need to do some kind of a call-in show. This is what I was telling you. We need to do a call-in show that is like where I just get to, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna PR.
Is Jay still in the room? Can I send the link to Jay? Jay, would you come up? Jay, would you come up if I send you the link? I want to introduce you to Jay.
What's up, Jay? Jay, come on
so
over.
I want to send Jay. Jay, I'm going to send you the link.
Name it Larry. Raymond's gonna name our wicked awesome energy Larry. I love it.
Larry. I'm gonna send you the link. Can I speak?
Can you? You can if you want to.
I'd like to see Jay. Jay's a good guy. He's a medium.
Jay. We're gonna see Jay.
Known Jay for a long time. And
Jay just knew that tonight was the night he was supposed to pop in.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. We don't really have a guest tonight. We just wanted to come
Well,
up
Jay, what is the thing that you came in to tell us?
Let me find Jay here. There he is. And I'm just going to send you the link right now. And come on up, Jay. It'd be nice to have you on the show, and you can fill us in on what's going on in your life.
Come on down. Right? You're calling him down like the price is
What is
right.
he name? What is he naming Larry?
Our awesomeness, our collective awesomeness is our guest in the room, and we're naming it Larry. Hello, Larry.
Okay.
Hello, Larry. The awesomeness that is our.
What we'll do is also. What we'll do also is I haven't had Jay on the show in a very long time.
Okay.
So I think eventually we'll have to bring Jay up.
Well, let's just do a little mini intro hangout with Jay and be like, Jay, you got to come back on the show.
Hopefully you got it.
Jump on in.
I did send you the link, Jay. I hope that's right. Yeah, here he saw the link. So, yeah. So what is he naming Larry? Sorry, I missed that.
Our awesomeness. The awesomeness that we have.
Our awesomeness is called Larry?
Yes, Bryan-jon. That's the guest that we have on all the time. That is the disembodied voice in the room that will talk to us when we don't have a guest. Larry. Larry's here. What's up, Larry? How you doing?
Maybe we should bring Raymond up.
But
I know he's got stomach problems tonight.
Well, whatever. He's okay. He's fine. He'll come on up and talk to us for another 20 minutes. What? We can
be on longer.
Well, I got to run away too, Bryan-jon. I got another call. I got another call for another podcast stuff at 8:30.
Okay. So we can be
my
on
time,
a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I have to
Jay's
run away.
taking a long time to get online here.
Get Raymond. What's up, Raymond?
Come on.
Bring Raymond. Bring Raymond. Jay.
I think Raymond knows Jay. I'm sure he does.
Well, Raymond's got some.
If Jay comes up, bring him up.
Raymond's got his own, tuned in, energetic, all that stuff.
I'm gonna send him the link.
Listen now, fellas.
Send you the link.
Here comes Jay. What's up, Jay?
There's Jay.
Are you outside?
Jay's outside.
Speaking of fire and being in, here he is. He's got a campfire in front of him. It seems like.
Yep. Yeah. Jesus, man. It has been a long time.
6 Media Productions. I love it. Hello. 6 is my life path number.
Time,
lovely
Jay.
to meet you, Jay. Buddy? Hi, I'm Haleigh. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Just kind of had a day off, so I'm just chilling.
Yeah, Haleigh's my new host for Through the Lens.
I noticed that.
Yeah, we got rid of Lex because Lex is not fun anymore since he became a father.
Well, that's what happens. It's one of those things. It's a part of life. That's you just have no sleep and you have no energy to be fun anymore.
I told Lex. I said, Lex, you're no fun anymore. And
you're no fun anymore.
You're no fun anymore. I don't want you as my host anymore.
No.
So no, that's not true. Lex will be back. Did you know that Lex is a brand new father?
No, just to tell I knew today.
Okay. So you just found out right now. Is that what you're saying?
Did you just find oh, here comes Raymond.
So Jay, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, where have you been? I sent you a message like a month ago and you never responded.
I know. I was bad. I was really bad. No, I work at the country club, and it was this summer was just crazy, and I didn't have any time off, and I was working like 60, 70 hours a week. I swear. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was nuts. It was just crazy. I made good money, but
are you still doing your podcast?
Oh, I got a new one.
So
why haven't you brought it over to Parapost?
I don't know. I just started it actually.
I saw it.
Did you see the paranormal memoirs?
And I saw something. I was just skimming through Facebook and I saw it. I think it was your show. It wasn't too long ago. And I go, that ass. Why is he not on Parapost? Like,
look, Bryan-jon just calling you out, just giving you the link and calling you right out. Come on over. Raymond, what's up?
Listen, why didn't Jay message me?
Oh, I'm waiting to hear about it too. So,
well, why did Jay message me? He goes, Brian, can I come back to Parapost? You know, you'd be there in a heartbeat.
Boys,
I know.
Do we need to have a little? Do we need to have some kumbaya right now?
Wait a minute.
To be honest,
what happened to the hosting with David Taylor?
He had to bow out. He had some personal stuff going on, and we talked about it, and he may come back later. Okay. But I said that's fine. You know, I said me and Kelly can, we're working on trying to have a call-in show.
We were just talking about that. Tanner's got a call-in number, and I was just saying how I would love to have a call-in show where, like, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just love bomb people.
See, okay, so here we go. But the problem is of having a call-in show.
What?
You can have people like Raymond, who's going to be calling in and causing all kinds of havoc.
Okay, Raymond. If I had a call-in show, what would you call in and ask me?
I started on Parapost. I've done nothing but cause trouble.
Okay,
I love
Raymond, I got a beef to pick with you now. Yes.
He knew.
I see you have a new podcast, and why are you not posting it on Parapost?
Because I don't have a paid subscription yet.
Okay.
And so it's
you're doing it for free. You still have 3.
Not on Restream. You only have 2.
Okay. So you went to Restream. Do you like Restream?
I do. I have it.
Do you?
Not particularly, but after seeing the prices that StreamYard have coming out,
but I pay $50 a month for my Restream, so I have
higher end.
Yeah, I have everything. I mean, I had StreamYard for a while, and they couldn't fix the glitches, and I was done with it. And so with Restream, I ended up, I went back to paying $50, and I've never had an issue with Restream. And I have now with my new show, I have an option where when I'm telling my paranormal stories, I have background music, which is really cool.
Well, you can have background music on StreamYard.
Yeah, Bryan-jon had some stuff on playing before we started.
Yeah.
But that's some newer kind of stuff I think StreamYard has added.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, no, this has been here forever. The music on StreamYard's been there. Like, listen, I can play back.
Please don't do that.
Your show's going to get flagged for music now.
No, well, yeah, maybe. No, but it's through StreamYard, right?
No, it is going to be.
Oh, no, this music that I chose right here is from Facebook Studio.
Really?
Oh, it's a...
Yeah.
They'll still tag it.
Yeah. So, again, getting back to Raymond.
Back to Raymond. Raymond's in the principal's
Raymond
office.
has got a new podcast, and I saw it last night. I lurked.
What's your podcast?
I didn't make a comment.
It is called Death Scenes and Cemeteries.
Yeah, it's
Death Scenes and Cemeteries.
You know what? It needs a little bit of life, to be honest.
We're working on it. That was episode 2, dude.
What's that?
I love it though. That's what's it about?
2.
Well, no, what I mean by that is like you guys are talking about death and all that stuff. It needs a little bit of life. I don't mean like being a little more, this, but I'm just saying add a little more life instead of just death all the time.
Add a little bit of fun.
I mean, we had 1,100 views in less than 12 hours.
Ooh, good for you.
That was just
Facebook. That was just Facebook. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's
good for you. I love it.
Yeah, I haven't posted on Facebook. I haven't done a video on Facebook. I'm more of audio now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think my first show I did a couple weeks ago. The other day I just had 107 downloads in one day.
Nice. That's exciting.
I thought that was kind of shocking. But I also have another show called Beyond the Reaper podcast, which is about
Jay, you were doing extremely well. With AJ's RSS feed.
Yes.
Like the number you were getting on his RSS feed was incredible.
Right.
And it was definitely I if you would have kept that going, you could have monetized.
I still am. I'm still on RSS.
Through AJ's or your own now?
Through AJ's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. But no, you're still on there. But are you putting up new stuff?
Oh yeah, I just put up a new one two days ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my first my second episode of my first initial meeting with a full body apparition.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Now tell me because Bryan-jon says, Jay, you're a medium, and Raymond, you've got some like very cool tune in sauce kind of stuff too, right?
Well, Raymond reads tarot. Raymond reads tarot.
I'm saying, but like, let's do a little bit of tune in time stuff. Like, y'all, what kind of cool energies are out there in the ether? What messages can you bring me, everybody? What's going?
Well, you can't ask Jay because then he's going to charge you $10.
Yeah.
Never mind. We're just doing an audience hangout thing. It's like an impromptu paranormal.
Jay is going to charge you $10.
No,
$10
my charge is $80
every 5 words.
Every 5 words. That's a heck of a call-in, I tell you. That's an expensive call-in number.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Brian. I kind of forgot that you're from Canada. Sorry.
Oh, what the hell does that mean?
Waiting for the fence.
Oh man. You know I have to give
Raymond
you
says the same thing. We went on an investigation at Bobby Mackey's. He goes, I'm sorry, Brian. He goes, I'm sorry, forget Brian. He's from Canada. Like, what's going on here? Like,
you roll into redneck bar in Eastern Kentucky, well, Central Kentucky, and you don't expect them to make fun of your accent. You know, I'm just saying it out loud.
Isn't Bobby Mackey's gone now?
No.
Yes, they've torn the building down. They are going to start rebuilding soon.
Oh, they're rebuilding on the same spot?
Yeah.
Well,
do they think
be honest, it's a good thing they are, because that thing was a death trap.
Yeah.
It is rough.
Okay, but do you like that'll be interesting though to like visit it later? Like, do you think that some of the energy that was there is attached more to the like the space, not just necessarily the building?
I
but
think
like
it's more to the ground, to be
honest. More, I was just gonna say it's more of a land issue.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, especially with the earth spirit there.
Yeah.
What
he's still gonna be hanging out. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, when you throw a head down a well, that causes a lot of problems.
I imagine that. Yeah, that's a heck of a demon spell right there. We do not condone throwing heads down wells here on Through the Lens.
I still can't figure out that one, but I don't know where that story came from. But
it's wild.
Yeah,
but tell me about the earth spirit that's
kilometers away, and they bring the head to the bar and throw it down a well. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, to be honest.
Well, maybe they were just really super drunk.
It's never actually, that is a story that's going on, but it's actually never been proven. So
right,
no, I know that.
And you also have to realize too that Mackey's being a bar, and all the emotions of different people that bring into that place.
Mm-hmm.
Is also something that can stay or kind of be stagnant, or you know what I mean? So that's what a lot of people don't understand is when you go to investigate and you have a large amount of people in one investigated place, it can be just chaotic. Mm-hmm. And some of that stuff can remain. It depends on what people bring.
Yeah, a lot of manifestation guaranteed.
Mackey's.
Yeah.
It's a very rough area.
Mm-hmm.
They've had several shootings out in the parking lot, people getting hit, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. It's a rough and tumble redneck bar. That's what it is. It's a honky tonk.
So that's Raymond's second home.
At times, yes.
Yeah, he's over there
because Raymond lived in the same town, right? You lived in the same town, right?
Well, I live about a couple hours away.
Oh, did you? I thought you were closer than that.
No, I live a couple hours away from there.
Okay, but Raymond went there all the time, though.
Mm-hmm.
I sure did,
especially with Jeff, right? Especially with Jeff, right? Jeff, yeah. See, yeah. How's he doing? I haven't seen him in a long time. I don't see anything on Facebook from him anymore.
He's been kind of lying low and just taking his time with some things.
Yeah. Is he doing well though?
More stuff. He's doing well.
Good.
I actually spoke to him weekend before last.
Say hi to him for me.
I sure will.
Say hi to him. Okay, but then tell me now about this earth spirit that's hanging out by Bobby Mackey's, as well as the icky vibes energy.
Well, I think you know what, I have to be honest. I think Jay will pick. Jay's one of those mediums that I think he picks up things through video.
Yeah,
right, Jay?
Video, text, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay is a couple of sandwiches short of a picnic basket when it comes to his mediumship.
I will agree with that.
To be honest.
I understand.
Whatever, boo boo. I love me a picnic basket.
You know what? That is a complete compliment.
Oh yeah,
that is a compliment.
Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah,
I'll take it
for sure. Yeah.
Any compliments are better than no compliments.
I love it.
Yeah, but go ahead, Raymond.
But the earth spirit, that is what usually actually hides out in Carl's apartment. We met him last October. Well, he formally actually introduced himself and stuff and was playing poker with us when we were live. That's who they were playing poker with.
That's right.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
And he was
wild.
great. And and I think, Jay, we spoke about this actually, or I'm pretty sure that we spoke about this, but they had a shot glass of liquor on the table that actually was going down.
Yeah.
No, what?
And it was sticky on the outside where somebody had been holding it.
Right.
Jay, we talked with Jay. Didn't we speak about this? I think we did.
A long time ago we did. Yeah.
This is on this. I need to know more about
this. This is the Global Ghost Hunt Live from last year at Bobby.
Last year at Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah.
So
isn't that on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can check it out.
I was gonna say, like,
yep.
Bryan-jon, do you can we pull that? Like, so it introduced
about
itself.
About a month later, we went back. We were invited back with another group, and at one point, everybody was out of the building except for Steve Smith and myself. You know, we went as spirit mechanics, and we were up there talking to him. And what's awesome is we were like, you know, if you can just say something in the microphone so people can know where you're at and this and that. I was like, or you can even say something out loud. And Steve was like, would you like me to shut the door? And you hear, no. Like audibly. The camera across the room picks it up, and it was right here beside my head. I was like, okay, what's up, buddy?
Hi, how you doing? How's it going, bro? So, okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the night that I was there with Raymond at Bobby Mackey's, they were all outside. They took a break, and they were outside. I was the only one in the bar. And I went up to the spot where apparently, what's his name? What's his name again? Carl, thank you. Apparently was when they were doing that filming of him going crazy. So I was actually in that spot. So I was asking if Carl was there. And then I looked behind me. One of the cat ball lights went off. And I turned my camera, and I actually have it on camera. I don't know if I actually captured anything. I haven't really gone through the video. I need to, because I'm going to be editing it soon to put it up on Paraflix and YouTube. But I think I see, this is my feelings when it comes to the whole Carl thing. I'll be honest. I think it's not. And Raymond, you can correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I don't think it's really Carl. I think it's something else pretending to be Carl.
I mean, at this point, probably. You know, everybody,
because everybody speaks about Carl when they go upstairs. Yeah.
Because Carl literally lived upstairs. He was the maintenance guy. He helped with everything around the bar. He was security. He made sure everybody stayed out of the bar after hours. You know, and he literally lived on the property, so they all knew him. So even if you bring up the name Carl, it doesn't mean he's responding. It's just they're like, oh yeah, Carl, because you know they're used to seeing him sit at the corner of the bar.
Now, something we did catch when I was with Patty and Vicky upstairs. We had the SB7 going, and we actually asked Carl what your job was. And on the SB7, we actually captured mop. So apparently he was a cleaner, right? So But we captured the word mob on the SB7.
That's awesome.
So
I love it.
Now I've never been there.
Yeah.
But I'm getting the when you were up there, was it really heavy up there?
Yes, extremely.
Always.
Like I keep sensing like this whole area, like you walk it in, you're gonna walk into a sauna. Like it wasn't necessarily hot, but it was the air was so thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, but it seems like over the years it just got worse and worse and worse.
And this is it, and that's what I was going to say. I for the amount of people that have gone upstairs and have talked about Carl and asked all these questions, it wouldn't surprise me if people manifested something that was created up there.
Yeah.
But something that I found really interesting and cool upstairs is the fact of that table that's there. It's got all that money on the table.
That's what I was getting
and
money and cigarettes.
People were leaving cigarettes and money on the table, and some of those cigarettes looked like they were like 20 years old, for God's sakes. Yeah. And
That's
and
really
the money,
cool,
a lot of dollar bills. But again, I think it's one of those things where I don't think it's necessarily Carl. I think so many people have gone upstairs and talked about Carl. It now thinks it's Carl, or wants people to think it's Carl. Or I think so many people have manifested so many different things there. Like I will say, the other guy that didn't come with us then, Adam, who didn't come with us that night, he actually has been there and actually captured an apparition on camera of what looks like to be a child. And so where did that child come from?
Chris is here.
Because it is a bar, and you wouldn't necessarily have kids there. So where did the child come from? Now, is that something that was manifested?
Right.
And it's just a lot of strange things about that place.
Here's the question then.
First of all, it's a death
She grew
trap.
up in that building.
Glad they turned it
clearly could be an echo.
Yeah. So what's that, Raymond?
I said, Bobby Mackey does have a daughter, and she literally grew up in that building. So,
did she pass away? I didn't.
No, she's still alive. But I was saying that it could literally be an echo of her when she was younger, running through that building.
Yeah,
well, that's what I was gonna say. Places like that have a lot of activity or a lot of energy or a lot of people putting that kind of energy towards it. It could, kind of like you're saying, like manifest or bring out more energies that were there. So kind of Raymond, like you're saying, like that's an energy of her as she wasn't like her child playful energy, right? Probably very strong when she was growing up and could have attached to kind of the other residual energy that was already there, right? And so it's like it replays some of her as much as it replays other spirits.
Now we all know the downstairs situation where that well has now been basically filled in.
The drain into the river.
Yeah. The gate to hell that everybody called it to. That night we were there, and we literally asked, is there anything about that? I forget the question it was actually asked. But
is this actually a gate to hell?
Is it actually? Thank you. Is it an actual gate to hell? And we actually captured it on the recorder or the voice recorder. No,
it's not.
And from what I understand, I believe it was either Jeff or Raymond told us that they were with another group and they got the same EVP saying no.
But sorry, go ahead, Raymond.
That was created by Zach Baggins. Let's be honest. Yeah. That whole stuff was created by him doing all that garbage on his show, and the whole Carl thing on his show as well. I don't think Carl was possessed. I think Carl was a schizophrenic.
I can pretty much guarantee that the new building that's going to come up, that they're building up, isn't going to be. It's probably going to be like 5% active. There's the land spirit. There's that, but that is kind of like. Once all that stuff that has absorbed in that wood in that old building is gone, a lot of that stuff is going to be just kind of dormant.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do what they did before.
No.
They're going to. I guarantee they're going to try.
Oh yeah, they're going to try. But I can pretty much guarantee that the land spirit, from what I'm gathering, is more or less kind of like finally. You know what I mean? Where the land
reclaiming that space.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That could be interesting though, because
he's
maybe
literally
that
just a guardian. He just hung out.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Opens up if they're going to attempt to try.
But now they can bring stuff in.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe you could,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it depends on what kind of building is going to be built. If it's going to be, a metal
it's a one-story building, and they actually plan on having like a clear cover over top of the hole that leads to that old drain.
Okay.
Oh, so they're going to kind of memorialize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to explain a little bit more to you, Jay, is right behind the building, like literally right behind the building is say railroad tracks. And just over the hill is a river.
That's what I keep seeing is a river. I've only seen the pictures on
Licking River.
Just the building itself. I kept seeing that river behind it, and I didn't know for sure if it was there or not. But I kept seeing that river.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a possibility, because it does have the train tracks in the back and then it has the river behind that, is it possibility anywhere in that building, especially that well, it had limestone?
Oh yeah.
Especially in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which we all know the three things, excellent conduits for. So,
I was going to say, but you've got the train tracks that are sort of a liminal space in and of themselves, moving energy back and forth. You've got the water, which is a conduit of energy. You've got, right. Yeah. And you've got the limestone. So, it might be that that earth spirit has to be there to kind of.
Right. It's probably a hop skip. Now, Raymond, I don't know if you know this, but now from what I'm getting, that river is a powerful river. I mean, that river, there's something in that river. I mean, it's just, the energy in that river is like, I keep seeing this, like, it's almost like glowing. You know what I mean? It's kind of just got that esque, like a small lighted mist.
So now I have to go visit that river.
Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility, especially in that area, that there could be bodies at the bottom of that river?
I was wondering about that too.
Yeah. No, Raymond.
Yeah.
I would put money on it. I really would.
There's, like I said, I keep seeing that river, and I keep seeing there's something in that river that is causing the energy to flow. I mean, it flows one way, but it's just, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not eerie. It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of like, this is what it is. Take it or leave it,
Three years ago, I was on a kind of a tour of Ontario doing different locations of haunted locations. And we went to this one area. There's like a big, huge, I don't want to say pond because it's bigger than a pond, but we did an investigation there because apparently there's been a lot of killings there by one particular person that was kind of a part of a gang. So apparently there's like 70 or maybe close to 80 bodies in the water. And from, a drug lord or whoever it was. But the night that we were there, we asked this question: how many bodies are in the water? I think it's at 70.
That's a lot.
And it's a really, really super creepy place. And we got a lot of action through the spirit box and stuff like that. But I can almost guarantee if there's killings in the parking lot and the homeless people live behind there as well, I guarantee there's dead bodies.
Are there a lot of trees around that property?
Yes. Not on the property, but
right, but around the
behind it and across the right there on the hill.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really interesting though. It's kind of like
dangerous road. It's a dangerous road.
Like, I was gonna say, it does sound like traffic, a very high energy space.
The bar is literally 10 feet away from the road, and the traffic, the cars zoom by that place. I'm surprised somebody's not
45 miles an hour, and they go a lot faster.
Did they find a car in there?
In the river?
I'm not 100%.
No. I mean, in that where Brian was.
Oh.
And where you were talking about with all the...
apparently there is some cars in there.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, and I'm going to tell you a little story. Years and years and years ago, there was 4 kids or 5
Oh,
kids.
that's funny because I was just thinking of kids.
Yeah, so they were apparently going around a corner and on the other side of the pond or whatever you want to call it, and apparently they went through the guardrail and they went in the water and they all drowned.
Right.
And
that's like one of my worst nightmares, being in a car that goes underwater.
There's another story with kids.
Yep.
Apparently there was a man that kidnapped I think it was a boy.
Yep.
And there's apparently there's a little cave somewhere around there that the little boy was killed in that cave.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I keep seeing a child, a male child there around that whole area.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking about a car and the kids and all that. So I'm kind of peeking into
YouTube
a little bit.
YouTube, so. That video's on YouTube that I did.
Yeah.
And the whole park was there was even one point where I don't know if it's in the video or not, but there's this one point where we actually saw a head.
Yeah.
Not like a real head. We saw a head of a spirit.
Yeah.
We saw a head of a spirit floating like feet away from us. And
we got to investigate.
What the hell is that?
We got to do something together.
I know we do. We've been talking about it for like
I'm going to be in next month. I'm going to be in Tombstone.
Oh, very cool.
I'm starting at the Paradox for Spirits of the Old West.
You have to go to the graveyard. Cool. You got to go to the graveyard there because
definitely.
Misfits, was it Misfits or who was it that did the graveyard at Tombstone for the Global Ghost Hunt? Who was that? Was it Misfits? No, it wasn't Misfits. I believe they did Pete Spence house. You got to go to the Pete Spence house too.
Well, I'll be going everywhere. Trust me. I mean, I've only got like 3 days, but you know, I'm everything's in walking distance from where my Verbo is.
I forget who did the graveyard, but they captured a lot on a particular plot or whatever you want to call it, but they captured a lot on I believe the spirit box, and they also had this contraption where it was turning green. I forget what that's called, but you know, one of those gadgets that I don't ever use because I think it's all gimmicky. But I just they had a good night at Tombstone, so you definitely have to hit that graveyard. I'm sure you're gonna see you're gonna see
yeah. So what I'm trying to do is one of my favorites is Doc Holliday for the Old West. And there was one time when I was thinking about him one night, and I was like, gosh, you know, I'd really like to go to his grave. I would like to do some type of interview at his grave, you know, and this and that, And I was thinking about him, and I went to bed that night, and all of a sudden I get this face that rushed right in front of me, and it was his, and it was like, he was like, what do you want? You know,
I love it. Like, what's up? You were calling me.
I was like, and I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I was manifesting him in that way. You know what I mean? And he was like, what? And then I was like, sorry, dude, I was just thinking about you, you know? And then later on, I was like, man, I really want to go to, you know, where his grave is and this and that. And I hear this, you should come on out. And I'm like, yeah, I can't afford it. And this is why I knew it was him, because he said, why don't you take one of those flying things?
Drones?
No, like a plane, right? Why don't you take one of those flying things?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
He didn't call it an airplane because he's one that hasn't crossed over. Okay. And I know that. And so I was like, I wonder if I can get him to come to Tombstone, you know? So
who was that team, Raymond?
Get Out Paranormal.
Get Out Paranormal. Yeah, they did. They were wearing the get-ups from like years ago as well. Like Rootless Destination does.
Yeah, I love that.
They had a great night. They had a great investigation. That was a lot of fun. Tombstone is definitely one place I'm going to come to. But I'm going to drive out to you, Jay, and you know, get out and do some stuff. Jay, are you still doing readings for people? Are you still doing that?
Not per se. I've been too busy to really do any private readings, but I still do work for if a paranormal team needs a medium, or to do virtual walkthroughs, which I've been advertising that. I don't charge anything for that. I just enjoy helping other paranormal teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically, if I feel prompted to read somebody, like a spirit says, basically, if I get images or whatever, I'll ask for permission from that person first.
Yeah. Raymond, are you still doing private tarot card readings?
I am. It's just been a little bit harder to do lately because of work and school and all that jazz. But I do them privately, and I also do them at events with Spirit Mechanics. So.
Yeah. Where's your locations for the Global Ghost Hunt?
You asked them, because I got a hold of them and I never heard back.
Well, no, I'm talking about you.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The locations I reached out to, I never heard from.
Can you do a graveyard or something?
I might be able to.
If you could, please. That would be great. That would be very, very helpful. And if you want to tape it, record it, and then just send it to me, that would be even better.
Yeah, I can probably do that.
So then I can put it up during the week.
And then also, if you name me, I can help with, running lives and stuff. So.
Well, it's funny because the first night of the Global Ghost Hunt is the first day of filming, so I'm not going to be there. So Matt will be there.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say congratulations on that spot you got.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. I'm up for 2 more roles as well. So things are going well. Things are going well. I did that movie in June, and now I'm doing this role next week, and it's going to be fun. It's I said the name earlier, I believe I did. I can't really say it on the air, but but I could say it behind the scenes. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be different. I'm playing. I believe I'm playing 3 different roles in this TV show. So it should be interesting.
It's going to be exciting.
I can't wait to see the script, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
I'll tell you behind the scenes. I'll tell you behind the scenes
for sure.
I know Haleigh's got to take off because she's got.
I got to run.
You guys wait in the back. I'm going to talk to you in a minute, and So
thanks for joining us, Raymond and Jay. It was great to meet you.
It was nice to meet you. Congrats.
Jay, we're gonna bring you up. We're gonna bring you up on.
I'm sorry you work with Brian.
In the future. What's that?
Raymond.
What was that?
I said, I'm sorry you work with Brian.
Raymond. We'll bring you both back up for another episode sometime.
We'll hang out. If I didn't give him shit, then he'd think
right?
And he knows I'm in the same boat with you. I have to give him shit.
Yeah, Jay gives me shit all the time.
Oh yeah,
not lately, but
you boys, that's how you do.
I'll have to make up for that. I'll have to call you on the phone and.
That was my family. If we didn't give each other crap, then we didn't.
Right.
We'll see you in a minute, guys. But I want to thank you for coming up.
Thanks you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. There we go. So that show turned out to be a great show.
Look at that! Magically, that worked out.
We had Tanner, we had Raymond, we had Jay, and it's great to see Jay. I love Jay, and
let's bring Jay back on. Let's chat about it and
love-hate relationship. And
well, let's bring him back. Let's talk some more.
Is it a love-hate relationship or a hate-love relationship?
You know what? It's the yin and yang of life, Bryan-jon. You got to have all of it for it to work. All right, that's what it is. The dark and the light, they work together. That's how
they're great. And that we can bring Jay up. Maybe he'll do some readings for us in the next.
That would be super fun. That'd be cool.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to you, Haleigh. I want to thank people in the audience. We had a great time. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Thank you, y'all. And yes, let's see you next week having some more fun. And hey, don't forget to check us out, Global Ghost Hunt, y'all. Get over there and check us out, globalghosthunt.com, and follow us on the Facebooks and on the YouTubes because we're doing fun stuff.
Yep.
17th
to
27th.
Have a great night, everyone. See you soon.
Peace, y'all.